Hello, guys. How are you? It's Pearl Jr. here. And I'm a few minutes late. I said I'd be on at 3, and it's 3:22. My bad. But 3:22, that adds up to 7, okay, which is Michael's favorite number. 1, 7s, and 11s are Michael's favorite numbers. Anyway, so today we're reaching outside of the Michael Jackson community. I had a person, a nice lady by the name of Dangerous Lee Langston. She runs the website blackgirlsallowed.net. And she sent me some questions that she wants me to answer. And the reason why I'm doing this live is because it's just too much to be answering so many questions, typing it. I got to correct the spelling. I got to make sure the punctuation's right, and it's just too much. So, anyway, we're going to get this underway, even though there's not very many of you guys here, but since I'm recording it, it will be here up on the Facebook page, and it will be on my YouTube page, youtube.com/PearlJR. So, some people are coming in, and I'm just going to be answering some questions from Lee from blackgirlsallowed.net. And I'm happy to do it because maybe some people outside of the Michael Jackson community will be up on the Michael Jackson death hoax. Did Michael Jackson fake his death? Yes, no. Is it possible? It isn't possible. But anyway, let's get to these questions, okay? Tell us about your background as an investigative journalist. Well, I have a degree in radio, TV, media, radio, TV, film from Cal State Northridge, a Bachelor's of Arts degree from 1989. I know I'm dating myself, but that's when I graduated college. And I've always wanted to be in media and journalism. I worked at NBC for a while. I worked at United Artists. What else did I do in media before that? Then I started my own company, Elbow Grease Productions. I have written 3 books. One about Michael, which is called Suicide: Did Michael Jackson Fake His Death to Save His Life, that I released May 2010. I had a TV show called True Talk Straight Out of LA. In 2004 to 2005, in which I was credentialed media to cover Michael Jackson's 2005 trial. And through the footage of that TV show, we produced several documentaries on Michael Jackson, one on Barack Obama, which enabled me to campaign for Barack in 2008 while I was selling the documentaries. And he did not disappoint. I was a good judge of character with him. So now I'm an investigative journalist who has covered Michael Jackson's 2005 trial, the Dr. Murray trial, the Mark Schaffel versus Michael Jackson trial in late 2005. I covered the Michael Jackson estate versus the IRS. I covered the Katherine Jackson versus AEG live trial. And was there any more? But I'll go to the courtroom and I'll sit in and I will tell you guys what's going on in the courtroom. So that's my background as an investigative journalist. Who is Cecil Holmes? Cecil Holmes is my man. He is my business partner, and he is somebody who I met in 2004. And so we've been together 14 years now. And he has a background in music. He even promoted Janet Jackson's album, the one before Control. And he knows Joe Jackson. His dad was very big in the music industry. His dad was part owner of Casablanca Records, and launched the careers of Donna Summer. They signed George Clinton, Parliament, Funkadelic, one of them, because those were on 2 different labels. His dad was a part of Buddha Records. His dad is on the Thank Yous in the Thriller album because his dad was head of black music at CBS during the time of Thriller and before. So you'll find the name Cecil Holmes in the credits of the Thriller album. And so there's a lot of history there, music history. Okay, another question. Why did Michael Jackson fake his death? Many fans believe he would never do that to us, the fans, or his children. I am not Michael Jackson, as you can see. See, no, I'm not Michael Jackson. You can pull on that. I know somebody thought that Dr. A.J. Farshian is Michael Jackson, and he pulled on it. They're like, look, it's really a mask. No, that's my face. My face. My face. It's my face. It's my body. I'm not Michael Jackson in disguise. So I don't know why he did what he did, but the first thing that came out, which was 7 days after the death announcement, was the promo for "This Is It," where he played a Martin Luther King Jr. Speech, and in which Martin Luther King is in the song "They Don't Care About Us." And the quote is, "It's the greatest demonstration of freedom in the history of our nation." So that is Michael Jackson saying he wants to be free from his career. He wants to be free from the fame. He wants to be free from all the problems and troubles, because I'm sure if Michael didn't have any problems and troubles, he would love his fame. Because I remember in the Jermaine Jackson book, he said that Diana Ross told them, Mike, that fame can turn against you, and they said they couldn't see how that could happen, how fame could turn into something horrible or terrible, and it did. Do this to his fans. Well, you fans got to understand, if you're real fans, he had problems, he had enemies, and he had troubles, so you would understand. And his children, the only way that he would leave them is if he was really dead, right? So if he's alive, of course he sees them, come on, and he talks to them. Of course, that's obvious. But a lot of people, even me, way back in 2009, I said, when people were telling me he faked his death, because I wasn't always a believer. It took me 7 months to believe that he faked his death. He wouldn't do this, I would say, but he wouldn't leave his children. If he's alive, he didn't leave them. Duh. But it's still a good question, and it is a popular question, Lee. So no, there's no such thing as a stupid question, right? Okay, what are the few basic and obvious death hoax clues that anyone can discover using Google? Everything. Come on, everything. How about his name, his real name? Okay, a lot of people say, he said in a deposition that his name was Michael Joseph Jackson. Well, so if he was stopped by the police and they said license and identification, registration identification, so he shows them the video of his deposition in in Mexico, another jurisdiction. No, that wouldn't fly. Or maybe he shows them the website on Joe Jackson's site, which somebody else was putting it up there, where Joe, on the Joe Jackson site, rest in peace, said Michael Joseph Jackson. I guess they could show that to the police too. That's a real ID. No, come on. Real ID is real ID. So Google his driver's licenses, and Google his passport, and Google his Korean visa. Those are real forms of identification, okay? So always go for the real thing. Do not take any substitutions. Do not take anybody's word for anything. Look for the real thing. You want to know his real name? Look up his driver's license. Plus, I got a letter from the DMV saying they never had a driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. That is not his name. Okay, and there's many, look at the American Dream miniseries. So since all death documents are in the wrong name, the Department of Public Health, not the coroner, the Department of Public Health states that on the death record, you must use their real, true legal name. No AKAs or assumed names can be entered on the death record. That is the Department of Public Health, not the coroner's office. The coroner has lied. Okay, the coroner has lied and said that his name, that he identified and named the dead body through a driver's license, but that's not true. And I have proof from the DMV that that's not true. So from the beginning, there's cover-up, there's a lie from the coroner saying he named and identified the body, Michael Joseph Jackson, through a driver's license, and a driver's license does not exist in that name, period. Okay, I have it from a lawyer from the DMV. Okay, also, unclaimed bodies. Somebody said, oh, they can use AKAs in unclaimed bodies. It's unclaimed. So they're thinking that fingerprints for an unclaimed body named Carlton Austin Guy and Oscar Quintana, aka Michael Jackson. That is something different. That is from the coroner's office on an unclaimed dead body. So of course they haven't identified the body. Okay, but that's something different, and that's who I think the body double was. But you have to watch Alive too for that. Okay. Have you always believed Michael Jackson faked his death? What convinced you? A lot of research. 2 notebooks full of notes for 7 months convinced me. All the domains that were registered on June 25th, 2009, saying Michael Jackson death hoax, Michael Jackson hoax death, Michael Jackson is alive, MJ is alive, Michael Jackson not dead, Michael Jackson fake death. I am MichaelJackson.com, which is telling us that he is the one that registered those domains. But watch Alive 2 for the proof of that. Those are domains. And also Michael Jackson Comeback and ComebackMichaelJackson.com. And also all the comparisons. I read the Is Elvis Alive book, and Michael pretty much copied Elvis's death hoax, even to the time where they gave the medications for Elvis's medications were at the same time Michael's medications were the night before their death. Okay, so you got to watch the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson docs to see that proof. Okay, what is your relationship with the Jackson family? Well, I know them, they know me, and that's pretty much it. I don't, the first time I had any kind of interaction, well, no, I had ran into Randy before the 2005 trial, and had a conversation with him in a club, and I think he was with Stefania's mother at that time. And I had ran into Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine at a roller skating rink, the Reseda roller skating rink, before. And another time I had visitors that came in from out of town, and we went, it was Valentine's Day, and we went to the Havenhurst house because I was sightseeing with them. And they were going in to see their mother for Valentine's Day, and I was able to get pictures with my friends with them. But other than that, it didn't really start until 2005 when I covered the 2005 trial. And I would talk to Catherine, and she talked to me during the trial. And Joe had called me many, many times, and we discussed my documentary about Michael's innocence, to which I signed a distribution deal 7 weeks before the death announcement. There you go. So that something, when Michael was pronounced dead, that something would be also out in the world public space saying he's not a pedophile, he's not a pedophile. And Joe and I have had many, many conversations. So I would say that out of all of them, I know Joe the most. And then Peter told me I was going to see LaToya at the Polo Lounge, which I did. So I got to meet her. And Jermaine, oh God, I ran into Jermaine, so many places. Ran into Jermaine at the mall, had conversation with him then, took pictures with him at the Jackson Family Dynasty show in Las Vegas. I ran into Randy before the death announcement in 2008 in front of the 99-cent store sitting in his car. I've run into Austin at Rebe, his oldest sister Rebe's son, in the airport in New York when Peter knew I was going to New York for that book signing for Elizabeth Greenwood's book, Playing Dead, in which she did a whole chapter about the MJ death hoax. And I went to the memorial, and I was invited to Joe Jackson's memorial. And I'm sure there's more. But, I had Joe's phone number, I had Randy's phone number, I think I've had Jermaine's phone number. And just being a part of their world, you just kind of get to know them, So that's pretty much my relationship with the Jacksons. Is it true that the Jackson family is aware of and in on the death hoax? Well, there's plenty of proof, evidence, and clues of that. You have to watch the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries and see for yourself. All the death hoax, like the Illusionist movie, Latoya gave us the clue, and Catherine's promo code for her book, Never Can Say Goodbye, was MJ Alive. And then Paris, oh my God, so many clues from Paris. And then Prince promoting Oz the Great and Wonderful, where there's two fake deaths. And Paris with all her staying alive and alive clues and her Paul is dead death hoax and her quotes at award shows that a star never dies. And oh, you just got to watch the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries, okay? To see that stuff. You and other believers of the death hoax communicate with Michael Jackson online under the name Peter Medani. What has convinced you that Peter Medani is indeed the Michael Jackson? Oh, the Michael Jackson? A series of things. Before he had contacted me, he had contacted me a couple of times. And one of the days that he had contacted me was a day that I had agreed to do the interview with B. Howard. And then he says, thanks for the interview. But nobody knew that but B. Howard and B. Howard's publicist. So how did Peter know? And I didn't even know Peter then. He was just somebody that sent me an email that said, thanks for the interview. And I pretty much went, and just moved on because I didn't know who he was. That was before he first called me. And then there were other little clues like there's no such thing as coincidences. And then he was contacting Chris Tucker and just a series of things that you have to watch in Alive 3. And then the first time he called me was January 15th, 2012, which was a year-long clue. And I had wrote Michael a letter before the death announcement. I used to write him letters a lot, you know. And one of the letters said, you got to put my name in a song. You got to, you know, do something for me with my name in in a song. So that's why I believe that he did the unreleased Jackson 5 songs, A Rare Pearl. And then you find out that A Rare Pearl cartoon was released January 15th, which was the same day that he called me. And then the cartoon of the Jackson 5 cartoon, including the Rare Pearl, was re-released on January 15th, 2013. So it was a year-long clue of things. And then the hot chocolate with Chris Tucker. How did he know that? And then he posted a picture of hot chocolate, and then he had already posted about Chris Tucker week before. And then Chris Tucker tells a hot chocolate joke. You can't. Hot chocolate and Chris Tucker, he mentions hot chocolate and Chris Tucker beforehand. Chris Tucker tells a joke about hot chocolate and Michael Jackson. Okay, you just. And then I kept prying, and you just got to watch Alive 3. It's all in Alive 3. I show you this stuff in Alive 3. So you got to watch Alive 3, and then things with Janet, and then the Bobby Anderson birthday being December 4th, which they had released before that. I'm going to see if I can find something to show you guys. Matter of fact, I will release that later in the comments here. The whole Bobby Anderson, who said his birthday was December 4th, months before the Peter Pan, because he was known as Peter Pan PYT, and he's still using that on AOL, Hotmail or something, Peter Pan PYT, but they stole his name on Twitter. August 2014, they stole his name. So the Peter Pan PYT on Twitter, oh no, how is this getting hot? Oh man. So I'm going to put on the fan. It is heat. That makes it blink. It is heat because I have the fan here. So see little Michael Jackson back there? That's a painting, you know, that an artist named Jesse Radalis did for me. But anyway, and then you see my wink up there on the wall. What else is there? Let me move my hand. Some more Michael Jackson stuff. See, that's our Trial and Triumph documentary up there on the wall. And there's another picture of Michael there. and I'm going to put more butterflies up. I had ran out of butterflies, and so I'm using the butterflies, but I ordered some, but it takes a long time for them to get here. So I'm using my stash of butterflies to give away with all the DVD orders. And I told you guys Christmas wrapping is already there, so I'm already using the red envelopes, and I'm putting little decorative tape. I'm not that good at it. I'm not that good at it, but at least it looks like a present. You know, I try to make it look like a present. Okay. Um, um, uh, so, Bobby Anderson, right? So the birthday, right? So that's so funny that he said his birthday, he had released, and I'm going to show you guys a video resume that he had released, right, under the name of Bobby Anderson, right? He released that sometimes in 2012. I am sure of it because I was working at that time, and I remember it being released, and me going, oh my God, have I been fooled all this time? Is he really not Michael Jackson? Oh my God, what happened? And then I get the email from Michael Jackson at michaeljackson.com saying, you know who I am. People say that that's fake or it's real. Michael could have faked it. You know, Michael has all kinds of tricks. You know, he has all kinds of tricks. But all I know is he doesn't tell the estate what to do. He doesn't tell LaToya what to do. He doesn't predict things that in 2 years in advance, the date of the Escape album, and giving me a hug with Miss Jane Pittman looking like her, and he came to see me again at the Catherine trial, and oh my God. But anyway, I got something new for you guys, okay? Which is you know how he did the video resume, he released it in 2012, right? And him and I were talking because the first time he called me was January 15, 2012, right? So he had called me, and I was telling him that I had sent in patents, and I was working on patents. Well, one of the haters, you know, they're researching me, trying to see if I'm a bad person and all this other stuff, and I'm not. I'm just as honest as can be. And I'm truthful, and I'm real, and I'm honest, and I try my best to show you guys proof of everything I say. And anyone who doesn't think that I'm honest or truthful, they just don't know me. They just don't know me, and they have a propensity to be negative, or they're too lazy to do the research or themselves to see if I'm honest and truthful. Well, anyway, they were doing some research on me, right? So the video resume, let me show you guys something. This is so good. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you guys something. Okay. This is proof of my patent. Okay, this is my patent. Okay, see the patent pending application. This is a patent. So some of the haters were hating on me. So they were researching. You know, everything with my name on it, right? And so then they came up and they posted, this is my patent, because the e-movie book is kind of like an invention that I did, at least I thought I did, that I created, where you can put links in books, and that's how that's how the Pseudocide book is produced. You watch it online, and you read it online, and you have links. So when I tell you something, I put links in there, okay? So I first applied for this patent April 2011, and I started talking to Peter January 2012. So anyway, it says, for example, I'm giving examples of how links can be used in certain what we thought once were paper items. For example, I put instructional guidebooks, learning, educational, corporate training, novels, historic nonfiction books, fiction, resumes can have hyperlinks to do a video statement to a potential employer. Any form of written text can be linked or highlighted words included in them to create an interactive environment where words and pictures interact in a different way than just with books or an attached DVD. So I was telling Peter that I had an idea that when people submit their resumes online, they can put links in their resume to where you can see what they look like and see how they talk and see how they present themselves. So there's it's right there. There it is. See my e-movie book. The word e-movie book, the word, here it is, pseudocide. Did Michael Jackson fake his death to save his life? So this is a part of my patent, okay? My patent pending, okay? So anyway, so let's turn this around. So, did I give Peter the whole idea to do the video resume? You know, because what happened was I thought that maybe I was wrong, that Peter Pan PYT was not Michael Jackson, that he was really this person named Bobby Anderson, right? And I was like shocked and oh my God. And then he started doing more things to prove to me that he was Michael Jackson, right? Then I was on the phone one time talking to him, and we had this long conversation about being a muse, M-U-S-E. And when we got off the phone, within like 30, 40 minutes, Paris tweets the word muse. You know, right? And then there's more stuff in the Alive 3 documentary that you have to watch, that you can't explain and you can't do and you can't know unless you're Michael Jackson, right? So Bobby Anderson is supposed to be from South Carolina. Then I did research, and the Michael Jackson estate has been paying taxes in South Carolina for years, since at least 2009. So everything links back to Michael, you know, and then in Alive 4, I'm going to put some stuff in Alive 4, which that would be in Alive 4. But he sent me a video of a CIA agent that said, this is how you disguise yourself. And you can put a palette on top of your mouth, and then it can change the way you pronounce words. So that answers the whole Peter, because the sound of his voice sounds like Michael, but the pronunciation is different, right? The way that even the book 48, Power 48, which was Michael's favorite book, something that he circled and he talked about was disappearing and letting people miss you. And all this stuff is all just the personality of Michael. The not liking to talk, that thinks before he answers questions, everything else, you know. And then we get Michael singing in a chat room from Russia, of all places, right? We get him singing in a chat room and talking in a chat room. And of course, Peter's a part of that chat room. So, you know, there's just so much stuff. Now, there's the haters that say they've known, you know, Bobby Anderson for 20 years. Well, that would make him 16, you know, when they met. And it's from 16 all the way to 36. This person doesn't know who he is. She doesn't know when his birthday is. She misidentified him twice. You know what I mean? She thought he was this guy named Robert Mims that worked at Walmart. You know, that's not Bobby Anderson's face. She thought that the birthday was either December 4th, which is 7 months, 7 weeks, and 7 days from Michael Jackson's birthday. December 4th to Michael Jackson's birthday is 7 months, 7 weeks, and 7 days. And then the next birthday, that's also, if you search for Bobby Anderson in Columbia, South Carolina, you find another birthday, which is December 3rd. And then we have December 3rd, which was the airing of The Wiz. December 4th, the year before, was the airing of Peter Pan. And it's just remarkable. How does he know this stuff before it happens? Months. And then Janet promoted the Peter Pan, saying we got to keep plays alive. You got to watch Alive 3, okay? I'm telling you guys the truth. You may not be convinced that he's Michael, but I am, okay? I'm convinced because I have no other answer for how he does these things other than he is Michael Jackson, the puppet master who tells LaToya what to do, who could ask LaToya what to do, who can ask Janet what to do, who can ask Paris what to do, he can ask Prince what to do, he can tell the estate what to do, you know what I mean? when to release albums. I have no other answer. I have no other answer except for it's Michael Jackson in disguise, or he's borrowing somebody's face. He's borrowing the persona of Bobby Anderson. And also Bobby Anderson, he told me he got the name from Las Vegas, from living with Michael Jackson. When him and Bashir were driving down the street, on the marquee, there was a Bob Anderson who is an impersonator. Okay? So, just know that when you add up the totality of everything, that's why I believe that Peter is Michael. You don't have to believe that. You don't have to believe what I believe. But this is what I believe, and this is the proof that I offer. I think the next question is, you and other believers of the death hoax communicate with Michael Jackson online under the name of Peter Mandani. Oh, I read that one. Okay. What do you have to say to those who believe that you and Peter Mandani are scamming fans? All I can say is look at the facts. I show you the proof. I show it to you. People who believe it's a scam don't want to believe that Michael's a regular person, don't want to believe that Michael can spell words wrong, in which I showed you guys Michael's own handwriting where he spells words wrong, ridiculous and conscious, and he does there for they are, and he's he's a genius, of course. He's a genius, but we all do spelling errors, Barry Gordy taught Michael that, before you answer questions, you take a pause, think it through. That's what Peter does all the time. He stops, he thinks it through. So the personality traits, the voice, the reason for the different ways he pronunciates, his ability to predict things in the future. If I know something, I can't ask him a question that I know the answer to, because since I know the answer, that means the answer's out there. So that doesn't mean anything. It's the ability to predict the Chris Tucker and the hot chocolate story. It's the ability to predict what is going on in the Michael Jackson world of importance, with family members, with projects that Michael releases. Those are the reasons why I believe that Michael Jackson is a fan. And there's no scam, because I'm telling you what I believe and the truth that I have found. And if you don't want to believe, you just move on and not believe, and we just disagree. I mean, it's a simple thing. I think scam has to do something with money. You pay for a documentary, you get a documentary. You want proof of this or that, I give you proof of this or that. If you choose not to take in the proof, or you choose not to research yourself and verify, then that's on you. Okay. Next question is, tell us about the times that Michael Jackson presented himself in disguise. I already told you guys, in Macy's, and that's around the time, day after the 2 years. Well, you got to see it. It's in the Alive 3. Somebody by the name of Miss Jane Pittman, and I believe that Rick Baker has helped Michael with disguises and with prosthetic noses and cheekbones and all kinds of things that you can do to make yourself look different, as well as a full-on mask. I go into who is Michael Jackson and who isn't Michael Jackson. Brandy Lewis had said in a live video that Sousa was a part of the scam, a real scam, that Frontback 777 was really Paul Bergman. And she had said that in one of her lives, that she had proof of that. And they did it on purpose. Me, I'm telling you everything that I know, and I'm showing you the proof that I have. And Peter and I don't get on the phone and say, ha ha ha, we're going to scam fans. No way. I promise you, I put that on the life of my children, that we have never, ever done something like that. Never had that type of conversation. He leaves the breadcrumbs for me to find. Okay, for me to find, and then I find him, and that's part of the fun. So he doesn't tell me what to do or anything. He just leaves stuff out there, and then I just find it and I report on it, and it's been fun. Let's see. Tell us. Oh yeah, and then a homeless-looking man came to the room. The what they call the overflow room in the Catherine versus AEG live trial was way in the back on a different floor. You had the only way you got to that room is if you knew where you were going. Okay, in the LA courthouse during the Catherine trial, and he came as a bonus, and we played like Tom and Jerry, like hide and seek. Like he would take a few steps and I would take a few steps and I would follow him around, and then I would duck and then he would look around for me, then he'd keep going, then I follow him, and then he followed me, he led me all the way to the Catherine, the actual courtroom there, and he kind of stopped there, and so I'm just playing with him, and then I played hide and seek. Oop, there it goes again. I played hide and seek, right? And then I played hide and seek a little too much, and then I hid, and I didn't know where he was, and then he called me on the phone, and we just kind of laughed and joked, and of course he didn't admit that was him. And then another guy came during the IRS case and in disguise, and I think it was in disguise because Peter said he was getting a TB test that day, TB test, and the guy had a mark on his arm that looked like a TB test, so I thought that was Michael too. So those are the 3 times that I believe that Michael came and saw me in disguise, but I think that he's been around me many more times than that, and I just haven't discovered that it was him. Like I believe that he was in the repass for Joe Jackson, but I don't know who he was, but I think that he was there. Okay, next question. Faking death is a deliberate and elaborate act. Yes, it is. One that you can't, or many think you shouldn't come back from. Why does Michael Jackson keep in touch with you and help you with exposing his death hoax? Why does he want the public and his fans to know? Well, I can't answer things that are in Michael's head or in his mind or in his heart or his soul. I can't answer those questions. I can tell you what I believe they are. Michael had problems. Michael wanted to fake his death during the Invincible era, but 9/11 happened. Watch Live 3 for that information. I think he just feels bad, and he has to do something while he's in hiding, and where else would he be but amongst the believers, amongst his fans, promoting himself? Where else would he be? And then a few weeks ago, he accidentally, when he went on live, months ago, I think, he said, well, I'm creating Jackson Empire, and I don't want it to be all about me, me, me. And then he kind of went, ooh, because if he's Bobby Anderson, it's nothing about him, right? The only way it's about me, me, me is if he's Michael Jackson. So that was a slip up that I caught, Peter, right? Let's see. I'm the historian. I believe that he wants me to keep a record. Why does he stay in touch with me? I believe he wants me to keep a record of this death hoax, and he wants me to promote it. Elvis had a death hoax, and even Elvis' death was announced in August 16th, 1977. The reason why I remember that is because my son's birthday is August 17th, and it's 1977, right? 77. That's why I remember that date. And on that day, why am I thinking Madonna? Is Madonna's birthday that day? I don't know. Some reason Madonna's name, she came into my head for some reason. But anyway, and I may be wrong about that. I don't know. Just look it up, someone, and I'll apologize if I'm wrong. But anyway, August 16th, 1977, do you know that in 2017, okay, Elvis is still the number 2 highest grossing, quote unquote, dead celebrities. A death hoax has done Elvis's legacy well. So a death hoax will do Michael's legacy well, okay? And if people say, well, what if the estate is setting all this stuff up to say that Michael's not dead? Well, maybe they are. I don't know, but all I know is that the estate is not promoting Michael Jackson faked his death. John Branca and I know each other. He's not mad at me. Nothing proves that Michael's dead. Nothing. 911 called, UCLA, coroner, Forest Lawn. Something's wrong with all of them. Something's wrong everywhere you look in the Michael Jackson death chain. The EMTs said they didn't recognize him to be Michael Jackson. Dr. Murray wrote in his book and also said in an interview that when he came back from the bathroom, it wasn't the same person that he saw. It wasn't the same one that he saw. So he looked different. But even though I believe Dr. Murray's in on it, and I got plenty of proof to say Dr. Murray's in on it, and he wants the fans to know because maybe he feels bad for fooling the fans. And also, I think he wants credit for pulling off the greatest hoax in world history, I think, too. But, you deal with constant harassment and lies at the hands of fans who are non-believers. What makes it all worth it, and how do you deal with the hate? Well, I'm truthful. I'm honest. I am forthright. I am being a good journalist. I am showing you the proof. I love Michael Jackson. I've loved him since I was 6 years old. I have a production company in which I own, so I can decide when to start, when to stop, what to do, what projects to do, what projects not to do. At any time, I can stop doing what I'm doing at any time. But I don't let bullies, even when I was a kid, I didn't like bullies, and I'm not going to let bullies that really don't know what they're talking about, really have no proof of anything that they say. And when they try to show that I'm wrong, it's always one off. It's always something that's wrong with their proof, something that's always just nitpicky, something that doesn't matter, something that's immaterial. Just like with when you are accused of perjury. It can't be, I said the scarf was blue when it's red, and you're a liar and you're a horrible person. Well, it's if the color of the scarf doesn't make a difference in the investigation, then it's immaterial. And it's called nitpicking, so that doesn't count. If I make a mistake, that is not lying, it's a mistake. There's a word mistake and there's a word lie. There's the word proof, there's the word evidence, there's the word clues, and there's the word facts. Those are 4 different things. So I present you with all the evidence based on facts. I give you the clues from the family. I give you proof, evidence, facts, and clues. I give you those. I'm not mistake free. I've made mistakes, but that's not a lie, but I try my best not to make mistakes. And I know I've made a few and I've corrected them. And if someone says, Pearl, you made a mistake, if I have an opportunity, I will correct that mistake. But bullies that really don't know what they're talking about, that don't have proof, that just want to say, she's so stupid, I hate her, she's horrible, she's horrible, she's a liar, she's a bee, she's this, she's that. I don't operate. That's not proof, evidence, and clues. That's someone having a fit. That's just someone bullying people to try to make them believe what they want them to believe. Okay, Giovanni has no proof of who Peter is. Now, they've known each other for 20 years. Both of them say that. But how come you don't know who he is or when his birthday is? And how come you misidentified him twice? It's because you don't know who he is, because he's been Michael Jackson the whole time. And you've messed up a friendship with Michael Jackson, who I believe liked you. I believe he liked Giovanni. I believe that. I believe that. Because he turned on me for her at one time. Okay? And then now he knows the error of his ways, and he has even wrote that he should have listened to me from the beginning, that she was a bad person, and she's a really, really, really good liar, and she's a really, really good bully, and some people can just say, show you pictures of things, but Michael, you can't ever believe pictures, because Michael is the master of disguises. Okay? So, let's see. One last question. My lip. My lip is chapped, sorry. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, the last one. You've recently produced a film, Price of Fame, well, Prisoner of Fame, I changed it, based on the death hoax. Tell us more about this project and why you decided to create it. Well, I changed it to Prisoner of Fame. I might change it back to Price of Fame if I could get the rights to the Michael Jackson song Price of Fame. That's also a death hoax clue in because it was first called Price of Fame in a live 3 that involves Tito and 3T. Okay, see, you can't do and then he knew that I was naming the screenplay that I wrote, that's 205 pages, Price of Fame. Okay, and before I had released it, the day that I had announced that I finished Price of Fame publicly is the day the Price of Fame commercial, which was the second Pepsi commercial, they decided to use the song Bad instead of Price of Fame, but that's when the full version of Price of Fame and the commercial was released the same day that I said that I did Price of Fame. Okay, so it's him. I mean, and then 3T did an episode called The Price of Fame. Okay, that had nothing to do with The Price of Fame, but they named one, and then Tito sung a song about being in love with a girl named Pearl. Okay, and then Tito has a manager by the name of Pearly Kate. What? Huh? What? You know, which is my name. You know, part of my name. And Pearl Jr. is part of my name too. Okay, it's not a fake name. It's just part of my name with some stuff missing, but Pearl Jr. is my part of my real name. And so when I decided that I wanted the project to not have, oh brother, here we go, Michael Jackson faked his death, oh brother, you know, so I changed the name of the characters to Jack London and Dr. Earl Carter instead of Michael Jackson and Dr. Conrad Murray, because I want people to see this without their preconceived notions that anything regarding a Michael Jackson death hoax is crazy. Okay? People have fanned it off because number one, they don't care enough. Number two, they've convinced themselves that Michael is dead through media reports, even though they've never seen the dead body. Neither did Joe or Catherine. Okay. And they're lazy brain. They'd rather say Pearl's a bad person. They'd rather say it's a scam. They'd rather say it's about money, and so naive about money. I'm a little tiny company. I am not making money. I am in debt doing these projects. But I believe in the projects and I believe in Michael, and I love the topic. I just think it's really good, but I do think that I am gonna have to go get a job and go back to work. Oh yeah, and then when I went to work, the day that Michael collaborated, because I used to sell Jeeps, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Fiat. I used to sell them, and Peter knew that I sold them. And on my birthday, the CEO of Chrysler Fiat announced that they were collaborating with Michael Jackson, you know, on my birthday. It's just crazy. And then we have the Michael Jackson Jeep commercial with a place with no name, right? And the Jeep with no name, with the song, he's riding down the street in his Jeep, you know. So that was kind of fun. So Michael has done lots of clues and lots of stuff that just, you know, we are connected, like telepathically, we would always say, you know. And I thank him for saying I'm his favorite author. He's so sweet. He said I'm his favorite author. But anyway, with the hate, the Prisoner of Fame, Price of Fame, Prisoner of Fame. So what I did was, my mother had passed away, and in August 25th, 2015. And so I was off work for 3 weeks, and I needed to do something with that energy. So I decided, and it was kind of like my mother who always said, get up, little Pearl, and dust yourself off, and you stand tall, and you continue, and you forge ahead, and you go with your beliefs. And I believe that was her talking to me. And I wrote the script because I was off work, and I wrote the script, and it just sat there. And it's registered with the Writers Guild. It's copywritten. And I decided, okay, I think I can afford to do a small short film. And I took the part where I thought that people had the hardest time grasping that Michael faked his death, which is if the dead body wasn't his. Okay? Once you tell somebody the dead body's not Michael and it went through the system, and then the alleged victim, alleged date, watch Alive 2. Watch Alive 2. And the propofol, the use of propofol is so fun. And the red mark in the chest, oh, it's so fun. And all the things that prove that that dead body wasn't Michael Jackson's. Even the DA refused to confirm the dead body was Michael Jackson's. Okay? I decided that I was going to produce that part of the short film. I've only released 1 minute and 44 seconds, and then I think I released another 30 seconds of it. But it's 19 minutes, so no matter what, I will be releasing that 19-minute film if it doesn't get picked up as a series, which we're hoping for, and it's with some important people right now. And so we'll see what happens. But I am also making a way that you guys can see Prisoner of Fame. And I changed it from Price of Fame. I might, if I can get my hands on the rights to Price of Fame. And then I told Peter, I said, maybe I should buy the song Price of Fame. And he instantly said, oh, it's not for sale. How you know that like this? Because you're Michael. That's how you know it like this. Oh, that's not for sale. Why don't you give it to me as a gift? Okay? Give me that song as a wink, wink, nod, nod. Okay? Give me the rights to that song, Michael. Okay? So that I can do justice with this this mini-series that will go down in history, and you will be more loved and more famous and more understood, and it start Michael Mania all over again, right? Start the Michael Mania all over again. So give me the rights to Price of Fame, and then I'll name it Price of Fame, and then I'll take Jack London's name out and put Michael Jackson, and I'll use everybody's real name if you want me to do that, okay? But anyway, guys, I am done. So I'd like to thank Black Girls Aloud, blackgirlsaloud.net, for giving me these questions. And I'd like to thank Lee Dangerous Lee Langston for sending me these questions. And I will talk to you guys next time. I gotta do my shameless plug, right? I gotta do this. I gotta do it. Okay. And don't forget to pick up the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries. Somebody said to me, oh, you're promoting your documentaries too much. So when you see all the Geico commercials and the McDonald's commercials and the Jack in the Box commercials and anybody that's selling anything, Michael selling stuff and people selling anything, do you write to them and say, oh, you're selling too much? Of course, I produced these. I spent money. $75,000 it cost me, mostly in me and Cecil's time off work, to produce these documentaries. So of course I want to sell them. Of course I want people to see them. Of course I'm going to promote them. Of course. So, but you guys know that I reinvest the money to new projects. I reinvest, and I want to do an Alive 4 one day. Okay? Yes, you can tag Murad in this video. Sure you can. Okay, so I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Please explain who Giovanni is, because people will assume you're talking about Giovanni Parks is not Joe Jackson's daughter, Giovanni Jackson. It's just a fan named Giovanni who was in chat rooms for Chat Rat. That was in chat rooms for years, and that's how Peter got to know her years ago in chat rooms. And I'm not sure it's 20 years ago. I only have seen proof from 2005. I haven't seen any real proof from before that. And somebody just saying 20 years doesn't mean it, but it could be 20 years. Okay, let's see. So it's Giovanni Parks. Hi, guys. Pearl, do you think he's coming back soon? I don't know what he's going to do, and I don't think he knows either. Thanks so much for doing this for blackgirlsalive.net. The one that is on Amazon, yes. Hey, Pearl, was the recording real that you showed up on Michael I'm Alive? Oh, you know what? This guy from Instagram, before I had released that recording, I contacted him, and it's a video on my YouTube channel, and I said, is this you? What is it? I sent it to him, and he said, what is this? So he denied that it was him. And then when the haters started, saying I stole it and I'm using it, it's on my Amazon channel, which I've tried to delete, and Amazon won't delete it. I've tried, and called and tried to delete it. He said that it's him and his voice, but what I believe it is, because he sent me another recording, and it didn't sound like Michael or Peter. I'm going to have to go real quick. It didn't sound like him. So I told him, not Michael, not Peter. I wrote that to him. And so I think he took splices of Michael's real stuff and kind of used a couple of words and stuff like that. So maybe not. Maybe it's not Michael. But I can't erase it. But, have you ever talked to MJ in person? No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. And how you doing, Latrice? And let's see. I got Michael coming out of Carrollwood in his car, and I said, "Hi, Michael. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mikey. Hi, Michael." So maybe I knew about the Joe Joseph thing. It was my intuition because I was using Mike and Michael at the same time. Thanks for answering the questions. My name is pronounced Lay. Hi, Lay. Thank you, Lay. Sorry, I pronounced it Lee. So Dangerous Lay. Lay. Thank you, Lay. Okay, guys, I'm going to go now. I've been on here long enough and my battery is going to die. And thank you so much. So don't forget to pick up your copy of the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson Docs and give away gifts. I got nice red envelopes to mail them in, so when people get it, it looks a little bit like a gift. I'm not that crafty, so I put the tape on. It looks okay to me, but it still looks like a gift. Okay, guys? So, and you can watch them, of course, on Vimeo.com, okay? I will put the links in the description or in a comment here. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.